my God. Welcome to the finale of Survivor, so Snow Day, season 5. Goodbye, Tim.
Bye.
This has been such an amazing season, and I'm really excited for a finale. Prize money is now $150, so one of you is going to win that by the end of tonight. Is there anything anybody wants to say on the record before we get started? Alrighty. Okay, so for our very last challenge, we're gonna do a push-up challenge. We're all gonna see who can do. I'm just kidding.
Yes.
Kidding.
Wait, no, wait.
I was ready. I was getting ready.
No. I think y'all like this one. So I'm gonna give y'all till 7:15 Eastern to write a little story. What I would like this story to be is your perfect snow day. So I need you to come up with an obligation that you have, and then that obligation gets canceled because it's a snow day, and then what you do on your snow day. Please feel free to be as silly as you like. No rules. Feel free to go as short or as long as you like, but just know that going on for on and on and on and on is the kiss of death. Just know that. Yeah, feel free to inject as much personality into this little story as you like. Do you have any questions? This is a Ferris Bueller's Day Off of sorts around the theme of Snow Day. Okay, great. So once you all do that, at 7:15, I'm going to call two friends. We are going to go into a separate breakout room where they are going to debate on which of theirs is their favorite. They have to come to a consensus, and whoever is both of their favorites will win immunity, guaranteed spot in the final 3. I'm also going to be hopping into the voting booth and collecting one last confessional from you all, one last mid-game confessional from you all. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. Good luck.
The past couple of sessions, I've gone in saying I wasn't nervous, I'm going to be fine. And then I get here and I'm sweating and I'm nervous. So I'm definitely nervous because I'm not sure which way it'll go. And I am scared if I make it to the final tribal, I won't get any votes, which would be pretty embarrassing. But I think, and biased obviously, that I played the best game. But I'm nervous and excited, and I have no idea what I'm going to write about for this final immunity. I almost don't want to win it though, because I know that Tim wants to take out Jessica, and I think that might be a smart move because I think she's super likable and could win. And I don't want to be responsible for having to do that. So if Tim wins, he can do that. But at the same time, if he takes her out and he's in the final 3, then I don't want that to give him points for the jury. So that's all for now. I'm going to try to write this thing now.
I'm a slow writer, so this is tough for me. But yeah, I was hoping that we could team up on someone and just maintain my 3-person alliance, but sadly you have thwarted me.
This has been, of course, a really exciting season. I do have some secret plans that I'm really hoping to enact here. Me and Jessica and Hannah we're originally plotting to pick on Tim in this challenge, seeing as we can't really do that in this particular form of challenge. We're just going to have to see what happens. But no matter what happens, whether I'm in the final 3 or the final 4, I'm going to have been really happy to play, and I will be sad to see whoever goes go, and happy for whoever wins regardless. I have nothing but positive feelings for everyone playing, and it is going to be a little bit tough if I have to vote someone that I really like out. So that's it.
Well, here we are. Here I am at the final 4. Cannot believe I made it this far, to be honest. It's a little bit different than I would have intended had there not been a few idols and vote steals done. Miranda would be here instead of Jessica right now, but that's the game we're playing. And now all that stands in my way of winning, I think, is this immunity challenge here, and a substantial final tribal council performance. With that being said, I think my biggest target going into that final three is most likely Jessica. I think she has some of those Skidmore connections that the other three of us don't. She has been sort of the conversation starter this entire time. She's just been a major figure in this game, and I think she has a really great argument if she makes it to the end. I think between Hannah, Jeff, and I, we will each put up our arguments, and I think it'll be a bit more of a even playing field. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think this has been a really fun, exciting game. So just to make it to fourth place, I'm very satisfied with. But I am fighting to make it to the end. And even if I lose this immunity challenge, I have some backup plans. I'm not rolling over. I just might be able to convince a few people to do some things against their best interests and to benefit my best interests. But that all depends on this challenge right now. So that's all I got.
Alrighty, well, please welcome our first guest judge, Finley, and our second guest judge, Bianca. Finley
God.
Finley and Bianca competed in Survivor Theater Kids. Finley won that competition. Bianca was our runner-up.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And they'll be judging you, the final four, today. Great. So for the final four challenge, Finley and Bianca, I had each of our competitors write a little story. The prompt was, please describe your perfect snow day. If you had an obligation and it was canceled because of snow, describe what your Ferris Bueller's Day Off was. They all sent them to me. I'm going to read them to each of you anonymously, and you both have to agree on your favorites. We're going to be doing this in a breakout room privately together.
Oh, excellent.
Without the competitors. So competitors,
Amazing.
Oh my
competitors,
God.
if you want to read your stories to each other while I'm doing this, that's totally fine. But we'll be back. Let me know if you have any questions. Here we go. Are you ready, my guest judges?
So ready.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Here's story number one. It had been weeks and weeks of nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, and diarrhea that even Pepto-Bismol couldn't tame. My mother decided it was time I seek professional help, and I reluctantly agreed. However, I soon found out that in order to be diagnosed with a digestive disease, I would need a colonoscopy. For those of you who don't know, that is when a doctor puts a camera up your booty and looks for inflammation in your intestine. If that doesn't sound bad enough, you also have to fast for 24 hours before the procedure.
Finley knows.
Don't I know it's sister?
And you have to drink a solution that makes you shit your entire guts out the night before. I was dreading this day and praying to the gods that it would get rescheduled. Amazingly, 2 days before my procedure, there was a huge blizzard. 5 feet of snow covered my entire town. So instead of fasting and then shitting all night long, I played in the snow. More importantly, during every snow activity, I ate. First, I had donuts while throwing snowballs, then fried chicken while ice skating. During my break, I sipped on some hot chocolate. I finished the day with an entire pizza. My stomach was wrecked for weeks to come, but it was entirely worth it.
Nice.
That's the first one. All right, move on. Story number 2. The previous morning, no snow anywhere. Quote, ugh, I just can't believe I have to go to New Hampshire tomorrow to deliver my sewing project to my client, I say with a frown. The next morning, there is snow everywhere. Quote, oh wow, there is snow everywhere. I certainly can't deliver my sewing project to my client, I say with a smile. I have always loved the look of fresh snow, so I quickly scurried across my creaky, warm, long floorboard and looked out the window.
One floorboard.
I then take out my awesome laptop and open up my favorite Minecraft launcher and go on to my favorite Minecraft server. Quote,
Pandering.
I'm
Nerd.
going to play Hunger Games on Minecraft today instead of delivering my sewing project to the client in New Hampshire.
Big nerd.
That's the
Underline. Oh, I'm so bored.
story number 3. I will now recant the tale of the greatest snow day of my life.
Recant.
That's what it says. That wasn't me. That's what it
Word.
says. The day began drearily, laden with the anticipation of the day's chore of cleaning out my parents' attic. Don't get me wrong, I love my parents, but they've done a good job at keeping the attic clean, as I have. But they have done as good a job of keeping the attic clean as I have getting enough sleep in college.
But
Things took a turn for the excellent, however, when I received an early morning call from my mum. Quote, "You can't possibly drive over in this weather, dear," she said in a concerned tone. And thus a masterpiece of a day began. I spent the next 2 hours in bed, of course, catching up on Game of Thrones. Quote, "A nice, easy start to the day," I thought. Then I got a text from my good friend Ryan, who happened to live in the same complex. The text contained a simple invitation, an invitation to a snowball fight with some other friends. The battle was fierce, and though a few mittens and a shoe were lost, it was an incredible thrill. After the fight, we traveled to the nearest coffee shop to enjoy a heartwarming cup of their famous hot chocolate. Many a laugh was had, and all were in good spirits. As the day wound down, I found myself back at home with no responsibilities for the day, a heart full of snowy cheer, and the memories to keep for a lifetime.
Ooh.
ooh. No one's being very funny.
I literally specifically told them they can be as ridiculous as they like, but it's okay. Number 4, my ideal snow day. As the local snow plower, it's not often that I get a snow day, but considering that my front door is snowed in, my supervisor has no other choice but to give me the day off. Never mind the fact that I could easily sneak out of my bedroom window if I wanted, as I am one of the few bearded men who does yoga regularly enough to maintain the limberness of my youth. So the question becomes, what do I do with this rare snow day? Do I cozy up to a warm fireplace in a snuggie and listen to smooth jazz? Watch reality TV while I do my makeup in my jammies? I think not, as that wouldn't be in keeping with my apparent limber lumberjack persona. Instead, I will create an intricate network of tunnels through the snow and find my way to my trusty plow, taking this opportunity to plow for pleasure rather than pay.
That's it.
And that's it.
That is brilliant.
This group.
This
What?
group indeed. All right, so yeah. So I need you both to come to a consensus and agree on which one is the best.
Okay, here are my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I like the first one. My notes were colonoscopy, poo-poo, wrecked. Number 2, I thought was kind of boring. My notes were sewing, 1 floorboard, nerd, big nerd.
Love it.
Number 3, I wrote boring. That was my only note. And number 4 was snowplow yoga. So I think for me, number 1 is my favorite.
Really? Ooh. Okay, here were my notes. For number 1, I had gassy colonoscopy, fried chicken while ice skating, wrecked stomach. Number 2, I had sewing project, 1 floorboard, Hunger Games on Minecraft. Story 3, I had recant the tale, parents' attic, 2 hours in bed, Game of Thrones, snowball fight, a heart full of snowy cheer. And story 4, I had they bested the supervisor. Bearded men maintain limberness of youth. Snuggie, do my makeup in my jammies. Limber, lumberjack, and plow for pleasure rather than play. I think the 4th person had the most fun with the language.
That's
and
true.
also the fact that it was about like sticking it to the man. By like being like, I could go to work, but I'm literally not going to. I identify personally with that. And I also just love limber, lumberjack, and plow for pleasure rather than play.
I like it too. And they also were the most creative because the rest
I
seem
think so.
like actual stories.
Yeah, and this person like really painted a picture and used a lot of descriptive words. So
I did like that he was doing his makeup and doing yoga and just casually talked about jumping out of a window.
yeah. So my vote is definitely story 4. How do
I'm
you
down
feel
for
about
4.
that?
I agree.
Nice.
Okay.
I think 4.
We're back. Are we back? We're back. We made a decision. It was a very, very hard debate. We almost lost a life in the midst of it, but it's okay. We made a decision in the end. And the winner of our final immunity challenge is Jessica.
Jessica.
Congratulations, Jessica. You have a guaranteed spot in the final 3. How do you feel?
Oh my goodness, thank you. My English
Alrighty.
major paid off. I'm finally gonna get some money from it after all.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Bianca and Finley. Really appreciate your time.
Of course. Thanks for having us, Jessica. Lovely to see you.
Yes.
Good luck,
Good luck,
everyone.
y'all.
Oh my goodness.
Let me know if you two want to watch Final Tribal. Just shoot me a message. Okay.
Word. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Well, congratulations, Jessica. You have a guaranteed spot in the final 3. We'll proceed to our final tribal council. Let's plan on 7:40 coming back for our final tribal council. Well, final 4. All righty. See you soon.
Oh my goodness. How do you guys?
I don't know what to like tell people. I don't know what to say. Like, don't vote for me, Jessica.
All righty. This is everybody. This is our final 4 and everybody on the jury. First things first, Jessica, congratulations on winning immunity. A guaranteed spot in the final 3.
Oh my
If
god.
you could sum up your journey through Survivor in like a sentence, what would it be like?
What is that meme? I'm thinking it's like hit or miss. I guess I never miss, huh? Or whatever.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. In the meantime, Tim, how does it feel when somebody who is guaranteed a spot in the final 3 is going in feeling like they never missed one game?
To be honest, Ethan, I'm still caught up in this vote. I haven't thought about that in that context.
Caught
But
up,
now
like
that
you
you're-
don't know who to vote for?
No, as in like I can't stop thinking about this vote. I didn't really process that as, oh, like if I get to the final 3, Jessica has never missed from her opinion. But that's not a great thing to hear from a potential competitor. That would be my answer. How about that?
Hannah, did y'all read your stories to each other while we were gone?
No, we
No? What was it like? What was it like when we were gone? Was it just like totally silent?
No, we like talked about like why we all thought our stories suck, except for Jessica. She knew hers wouldn't miss, so she was like, "Mine was great." But yeah, no, it wasn't awkward though. We were just like talking about random stuff.
Interesting. It's interesting you say that you're all talking about why you lost, because the judges, I mean, I'll just say it. The judges were a little bit underwhelmed by your stories. I'll say it. They felt like it could have been a little bit sillier. Jeff, what do you think the main reason was that for? Was there not enough time?
I think I personally know I really like honed in on the challenge. I was like, oh my god, we got such little time to do this. I gotta make sure I actually get a story in there. And then I tried to like sort of shoehorn in a few jokes, but I'm not naturally funny enough to make a clever story in that amount of time. I think
Okay.
was my plight.
Jessica, separate question. Do you think you know who is about to go?
I could say a name, but you're just gonna say the wrong person again.
Are you, Hannah, how about you? Are you feeling as unsure as Jessica is?
I don't know if Jessica's actually feeling unsure.
Oh, okay.
I don't know though. I think she's reveling in the chaotic of all of this. But no, I don't feel sure. I'm nervous.
Yeah. Tim, you know who it's gonna be?
I don't know. I have a good idea of who it's not going to be, or like who I know who it's between. I'll say that. Whether or not it'll be, somebody getting voted out, a tie, or somebody else getting voted out, I'm not sure of.
Jeff, same question.
I think, as Hannah was sort of hinting at, I think Jessica holds a lot of cards in this when it goes into this particular vote. I think, each vote is important, of course, but I think Jessica's vote is going to determine whether it's Tim's scenario 1, 2, or 3.
Okay. And finally, I guess last question, Jessica, then does that make you nervous that you are going to bear the brunt of the betrayal, the betrayed feelings that whoever gets voted out is going to feel?
I mean, I guess, yeah, there is a certain level of like this stage. I mean, let me put it this way. We 4 have been in alliance. So,
and it's got to break.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this should be very, very interesting. We'll see how it's going to break. I'll make the voting booth and bring you in one by one.
Either I'm going home, it's a tie, or Hannah's going home. That's the reality. Hannah's voting for me. Unless Jeff is lying to me for the first time this entire game, he's voting for Hannah. I'm voting for Hannah. I pitched a pretty good case to Jessica, I think. There's a potential that she would also vote Hannah. But I'm getting ready for another challenge, to be honest. That's what I think is ultimately going to happen. So with that, I vote for Hannah.
Oh my God, Ethan. I'm just talking out my ass today. I'm going to vote for Tim only because he tried to orchestrate a vote against me in the last round because he was worried that I would win in the final 3. So, tough luck.
I am really hoping this doesn't go into a tie. I know that this person is targeting me this round and has been whispering into Jessica's ear to vote for me, but hopefully it doesn't go that way.
What is probably the final time that I'm going to be voting, unless of course I end up on the jury. I'm going to be stabbing up right in the back with this vote, which is sort of inevitable when you get down to this few people. But I'm in a very, very close alliance. I've been in a very, very close alliance with both Hannah and Tim, and I have to make a decision somehow, and it hurts a little bit to do.
All right, everybody, the votes are in. No immunity idols to be played, just a straight votes. Once the votes are read, the decision is final. Person voted out will stay on the call. We'll move right into final tribal. Person voted out will become the 9th and final member of our jury. Here we go. First vote, Tim. Second vote, Hannah. Third vote, Tim, the 9th member of our jury. Tim, I'm so sorry.
It's so okay. I had a great time.
Join the jury. All right, everybody. Well, our final 3, Jessica, Hannah, and Jeff. Congratulations to you 3. Each of you now have a chance to plead your case. Maybe one of you will become the sole survivor. Definitely one of you will become the sole survivor and the winner of $150.
Oh my goodness.
I have invited all of the past winners to come and watch Final Tribal. So some people are going to be coming back right now. please welcome back Kenter Davies, the winner of season 2, Icons versus Legends.
Yeah, what are the criteria for icons versus legends?
I had everybody self-identified as I was casting them, and then without them knowing, that's how I split their tribes.
Oh, wow. So you subscribe to a gender.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And I accidentally stopped recording for a second, so that's off the record.
No!
You can't cancel me. All right. All right, let's begin. All righty. Well, our final 3, Jessica, Jeffrey, Jeff, and Hannah. Congratulations to you 3. It's been a long, hard-fought season, as is every season. I'm going to give you each a moment to say an opening statement. Does anybody want to volunteer to go first? All right. Jeffrey.
I'll go first, I guess.
Great.
Yeah. So I guess the very beginning of my pitch is just that I've had an excellent time here. No matter what, I've had a ton of fun. But if you are going to vote for me, here's a few reasons why you should do it. When I first started, when I first joined this game, I knew exactly one person going into this, a friend of mine named Lisa. The unfortunate reality of the situation, however, is that Lisa was voted out first, well, third, but first on the tribe that we both started on. And so almost immediately, I found myself in a position where I was at the wrong side of the first vote. I was in trouble, as it were. I was fortunate enough that I then got switched. The teams got switched up, and I switched to a different team. However, pretty much no one on my original team was there, and like I said before, I didn't know anyone at all. So I really had to scramble, make new allies, and I found myself through talking to people, through making connections, really forming a nice, tight alliance that I was able to carry forward with to the end. So I haven't just sat idly by and gotten carried here. I've been really actively pushing myself forward. And as I, saying with that, we really have, me and the alliance I've been in have really been in control. We have been in charge of, or been having large part in the direction of pretty much every vote as we've gone along. And in addition to that, I do not believe that my name has ever been written down in a vote for tribal council. I've been in enough, control, enough aware of what's going on that nobody has ever felt inclined to write my name down. Maybe you should have, but you can do it this time if you feel so inclined. So I think I've played a good game. I think I've made new friends. I've made really strong alliances, and that's what helped carry me here. So,
thank you, Jeff. Jessica, let's have you go next.
Okay, well, I have a hidden advantage that I'd like to play. It is called the trans card. I mean, this is not the first time. So I'm gonna play this that game, how to win $1,000 on the cut or whatever, and tell you my sob story. So basically, I am having my vaginoplasty on February 19th, and I'm gonna have to recover for at least 4 to 8 weeks, and I won't have an income, and woe is me. So this $150 would be so helpful. No, but I don't know. I guess my thing is I've had fun. Definitely been scheming, so I wouldn't be surprised if people are not here for that, but I like to think I'm funny. So there's that. And also, as demonstrated by Jeff's pitch, he is QAnon or the deep web or Pizzagate or whatever. He's the man behind the scenes, orchestrating, pulling the strings. So I don't know, if you want to drain the swamp in a trans-affirming way, here you go.
Thank you, Jessica. All righty. Now, Hannah, could you please close that?
Yeah. Okay. So obviously tough to follow. Jessica's great, very funny, and Jeff is also a great ally to have. But I think we all all three of us played pretty similar games, especially towards the end. Like we said, we were in alliance and we voted together. So I'm going to touch on like how we were different and how I think I was different from them. So Jeff mentioned he knew one person. I didn't know anybody. Not from Skidmore. I'm not from, like, I barely knew anybody. I knew Ethan the best because he was roommates with my sister. But because of that, I worked pretty hard to build alliances quickly. On that first night, I messaged Michael, I messaged Hannah Gross, and I got those alliances down packed. And because of that, I was able to go far in the game because I really trusted my alliance and I picked the right people. And even during the split or the switch, I messaged Jeff and Jessica, and they were already tight and I got in with them. So I think that was a really big move to pick the right people and like trust them throughout the way. Another thing is that I was able to identify threats, in my opinion, pretty well, and could get the numbers to get them out. Whether I thought they were threats to me personally, like they wrote my name down, even if I was like the only person they didn't know, and that's why they wrote it down, like I wasn't gonna have any of that and I was able to get them out. Or if I thought they were threats to win at the end, and I got the numbers to get them out too. I also, unlike Jessica and Jeff, had alliances outside of us three. I was really tight with Michael the whole time, and we were actually planning to go to the end together. And he's the only person I didn't have a say, or I didn't actively vote out because I promised him I wouldn't. I knew he was going to go out because there was nothing we could do, but I wasn't going to betray him like that. And at the end of the day, I felt that if I trickeried and used my advantage to keep Michael in, then I wouldn't have made it past the last round. So I think I made the right decision there. And finally, I won immunity challenges too. So I felt like I was an all-around good player. I made a lot of friends, or I guess is it okay if I call you friend? Okay, I made a lot of friends or whatever after, like, even though I didn't know anybody, and made it to the end. So, yeah.
Thank you, Hannah. All right, we're going to proceed to the jury portion of the final tribal. I'm just going to call people up based on how you're arranged on my screen. So Jesse March, if you could go first, please.
I think I'm not sure. I don't have a lot to say. I feel like this alliance to me makes a lot of sense now looking back. The three of you were players that I never interacted with at all the whole game. And I think it makes sense the three of you ended up in the end. All three of you are very strong players. You know, hearing you talk about how you played the game. Very enlightening and interesting. Yeah, I think at this point I'm voting with what I have seen a little bit in tribals, and also like thinking back on what I remember seeing throughout the game and like piecing things together. Yeah, so I hope I vote well, but congratulations all three of you.
Thank you, Jesse. Yael, please go next.
Hi, everyone. Congratulations to those at the end, and to everyone for making it as far as they did. I don't have anything scathing or particular to say. I also did not interact with the three of you very much, which clearly was damaging to my game, evidently. So congratulations on being a very sneaky alliance. It does make sense, and I absolutely did not see it coming. So that was strong. Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said for being under the radar, especially in the early games. So that was clever. Yeah, I'm just happy to watch it go down. I haven't decided how I'm going to vote yet. You guys all made great cases for yourselves, and I'm excited to hear everyone else's testimonies.
Thank you, Yael. All right, Annabelle, your turn.
Oh boy. Hi, everybody. It's it's just been such a joy to get to know everyone on this call, and I'm overjoyed for our final three. I think I don't know. This is always this is a tricky position for me to speak from, because this was really an experience that for me was defined by just the joy of meeting new people and connecting with new people. And I think that the three of you are, you know, examples of just really excellent folks that we were all lucky enough to connect with through this time. And that was honestly what the focus of this game was for me, which I know is not, you know, perhaps the most traditional or strategic mindset or perspective to go into a game of Survivor with, but that's truly what I can say for myself at this point. And from the very beginning, it was about just connecting with folks during what has been a really difficult time in our world. So just, I really have a lot of gratitude for the three of you for being some of those people that I was lucky enough to meet. And I am overjoyed for you that you were able to get what you wanted to accomplish out of the game, and that you were able to band together and really feel supported by one another. I know that this brought on a lot of anxiety for multiple players. So it's great that you were able to really get each other through. I think that's wonderful. And I think that's, from my very limited experience playing this game, I think that's what makes a great player, is somebody who can really prove themselves a loyal teammate. And I think all of you, three of you, have proven to be just that. So however everybody decides, I hope that you can be proud of that. And yeah, that's really all I have to say. I'm incredibly happy for everyone for the progress that they made and whatever they were able to gain from this experience. And congratulations to the three of you. You did great.
Thanks, Annabelle. Alrighty, Michael, all you, bud.
Thank you, King. Quickly echoing everybody who's talked so far, this has been an absolute blast. I've truly enjoyed getting to know everyone that I was fortunate enough to talk to and chat with, be it strategy or just shooting the breeze. That said, I'm ultimately a fan of the game of Survivor, and so I'm not going to be quite as nice. I do have questions. Jeff, how did you outwit more so than Jessica and Hannah?
Yeah, so one thing that I think I did really towards the end that I really consider an outwit play is, as we were getting down, especially to the final five, it was obviously Hannah, Jessica, myself, and then Tim and Miranda. And I had basically two sets of three going at the same time. I was talking to Hannah and Jessica saying, all right, it's us three at the final three. We're going to get out Miranda, and then we're going to get out Tim. And while at the same time, I was talking to Miranda and I was talking to Tim. And perhaps you look at this and you're like, wow, that's really deceitful. It depends how much you value the gameplay. Of course, as you go along, I really tried not to ever be mean to anyone or to lie unnecessarily. But I had these two halves going on at the same time. And so no matter what was said by the other side, what developments happened and advantages and whatnot, I was confident that I was going to find my way into the final three on one side or the other. When it came down to it, I had to make a decision. Hannah played her secret advantage to steal Tim's vote. And I said, well, no real chance of, keeping Miranda around after that one. So I ended up picking a side and I made it to the end. So that's.
Before you mute, did you ever lie to me? And you can pick one time if you did it a lot.
I definitely did. I think the time that I voted for you, I told you I was voting for someone else. I'm certain. I don't remember exactly what I said, but most people that I ended up voting out for that I talked to at some point, I did during that vote tell them that I was voting someone else. So.
Thank you. Jessica, same questions actually. First one, how did you outwit better than Jeffrey and Hannah? You're muted, by the way.
Thank you, King. Oh my goodness. Do I say this before? I'm like, I want to answer your question, but I'm also like, if I say the thing, will that jeopardize my chances with the other tribal members, the jury members?
So you don't want to hurt any feelings, is what I'm gathering
I'm not
by
sure.
admitting that you played the game that we have all been playing. Is that true?
I mean, okay, so let me think.
And if it involves me, keep in mind my second question is, did you ever lie to me? So you can say it now.
Let me look back through our messages. The receipts. I guess, you know what? I'm gonna say this because I think this is funny. So I don't know that this was strategy, but it did work out in my favor. I might jeopardize Billy's vote here, but so something that was very funny that happened during one of the first kind of this was the vote that didn't count in our kind of group thing, right? And basically what happened is Ethan played a little trick on us and didn't count the votes. So it came out that Billy received 3 votes and Annabelle received 2 votes. I had told Billy that I would vote for Annabelle, hoping that Annabelle would vote for herself because I had noticed that that was her strategy early on. So basically what ended up happening is because I had told, maybe I'm wrong, but I think I remember Billy saying like, thank you for like having my back sort of sentiment. And
to you.
Yeah, to me. I was like, yep, that's me. Trustworthy, right? Because I'm sorry, Billy, but I'd actually voted for you. So yeah, I thought that was really funny. Just that, oh, okay. I figured you might like piece that together or something.
You can
if
chat
you
with Billy when it's his turn.
immediately realize that.
I'm being a bitch that time.
Yeah, so let's just say that was kind of my strategy. I did that multiple times. And that was one of the times that I lied to you.
Did you lie to me ever?
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Did the same thing in the time when I got voted out, or in one of the times where it was a tie vote between me and the person who got out?
I'm sorry. I love you. I do.
I'm a fan of the game. I'm asking about the strategy. I would be more upset if you had said, no, you never lied to me.
Yeah, so for what it's worth, I did the same thing with you. So basically, I told you that I was going to vote for, who was it? Tim. I think we chose Tim because Tim, I'm sorry to say, but Tim wanted to vote me out. So I was like, you know what, Tim? And you, Michael, were gracious enough to tell me that. So basically what happened is I said, oh, let's vote for Tim, because I knew that Hannah was going to vote for Tim. So there was plausible deniability, you know, that you might have kind of been like, oh shit, Jessica said she was going to vote for Tim, and there were 2 votes. So it must have been her.
Why did you know Hannah wasn't going to vote for Tim?
Because we were talking about it.
Oh, okay. I'm just curious.
I'm sorry, Hannah. Hannah told me. I mean, Jeff, Hannah, and I were like the dream team or whatever.
Did that start during the, like Hannah said, during the split, the 2 new tribes?
Yeah, so we kind of had been talking loosely since the second round. And we were just like, let's just further enmesh ourselves in this alliance.
Okay. Thank you, Jessica. Hannah, you mentioned how we had an alliance for everyone. So, I mean, Hannah messaged me first, I believe. We did make that alliance. You talked about you did not betray me. You did not vote for me. Was in your mind at that point, was that for saving face and staying ultimately honest to the alliance? And you were like, this is the better alliance that's going to get me farther? Or did you also like, I guess I'm asking, like, was our alliance number one the whole time?
Yeah. So the main reason I didn't vote for you is because I didn't like have to. I knew that I could stick with Tim and my alliance wouldn't be mad at me and you'd probably end up going home anyway. And the reason I was okay with that, and I anticipated you asking me if I ever lied to you, and like I didn't, but I think I was a little maybe not entirely forthcoming because at some point I did realize that if I played my advantage, which was a steal a vote to save you, then there would be what would be Jessica, like Tim and Jeff left, and like versus us two. And my alliance would probably be upset with me for lying to them, and then Tim would see that that was a really good strategy on my part, and he would be gunning for me too. So I knew that I would be out next if I had played that big move.
And
so
you had one more time to use that idol, right? I think.
Yeah, I played.
You used it the next time.
You got out. Yeah, so it was me, you, Jeff, Jessica, Tim, and Miranda. So if I used it then, Miranda, I guess, I don't know whoever we would have targeted, whoever numbers would have worked out, I felt like I would have been the next to go because of that. Or you next and then me right after that. So that's why I decided to go with this alliance. But up until that, and even like during that, I was going back and forth. Like Ethan even called me into the voting booth and I was like, I'm not ready. And he was like, you have more time. But I think what also separates me and my like outwitting, I never like had to tell someone I wasn't voting for them because like I felt like Jessica and Jeff, what they were saying, they didn't really like have to do that. Like Jeff, for example, in his example, he told me and Jessica he was voting one way, and Tim Miranda he was voting another way. And I don't really think he had to do that because it wasn't like if he told me and Jessica he was voting against us that we would have been able to turn against him. Like he was going to be safe either way, so I don't really think he needed to do that. And I thought that all of my outwittingness was like necessary without directly lying to anybody, except for Billy. I think we all abused Billy at some point during this game. When like, you know, in the first tribal, Billy, when you were like, are you voting for me? And I was like, I don't think so. And then you played the idol. Oh, Billy, I said we all abused you at some point throughout the game.
How many people, I guess an estimate, but like, how many people in this game, not necessarily just people that are on the jury, do you think you had an alliance with, be it a fake alliance that you were lying to them, or like you were, you know, playing them, or like how many people do you think you like established something with?
Yeah, so our original one was like you, me, Hannah Gross, and Jessie because she's Hannah's roommate. And so like that, and then we flipped and it was Jessica and Jeff, but I was still kind of in with you and also Yale. But then when we flipped, I didn't really feel like good vibes from that alliance anymore, so I went with Jeff and Jessica. So I'd say like half the people I felt like at some point I was pretty tight with.
Cool. I will also say that to the jury, as I was in communication with Hannah a lot of moves that ended up getting people out that we were a part of were originally initiated by Hannah, at least from my perspective. If that came from maybe somebody else, that remains to be seen. But she reached out to me. She played her idol effectively, and she initiated a lot of moves. I think it's clear how I'm ending this. I yield my time.
Thank you, Michael. All righty, Miranda, you're up next.
Oh boy. Yeah, congratulations, you guys. I do want to know, just for my own sake, Jessica, you did write down Jeff's name, and yet clearly you guys had other plans. I would love to know about that.
So I don't know if Ethan is going to tell the truth about this. I have screenshots for after the game, but I did write down your name. I'm sorry, Miranda, but
No, I saw it coming.
I'm going to spice things up. And then Ethan was like, you know what? I'm going to spice things up. And he said Jeff, and I was like, bitch, like Jeff is in my alliance. Like Jeff has been on my side for so long. How could you do this to me? But yeah, I'm not allowed to share screenshots. So you're just gonna have to take my word, and apparently my word is not very good. But just suffice to say that I did say your name because I knew that Jeff, Hannah, and I were gonna vote for you, and that was I think a majority at that point. Because I think we voted, no, did we? I don't remember. It was Michael, Miranda, and someone else. Annabelle. Annabelle was first. Then it was you, Miranda. Then it was Michael, I think, right?
It was Annabelle, Michael, me.
Oh, okay. Yep, there we go. Mhm. Yeah. So yeah, there's that.
So then my question for all of you, you obviously have laid out your points why you deserve to win. And I'm wondering, if you didn't have to go for yourself, who would you vote for? That's to all three of you.
I can take the first stab, just to get moving. If I was going to vote for, it would be, first of all, it would be a very tough decision to choose between my two friends. I think, sort of like Michael, I really do respect the gameplay, and I really do respect the devious moves. It is a game after all. And so actually coming into this final tribal council, I had some vague suspicions, but I did not really know how close Michael and Hannah were. I had no idea about that. You know, unless there's more things that Jessica hasn't said, I think I had a good idea on what she was doing, more or less the whole time. But yeah, Hannah was doing a good job of keeping secrets, and like I sort of mentioned, how I was keeping my options open with Tim and Miranda. I think Hannah was doing very much the same thing, and so if I had to vote for one of the two, I think I'd vote for Hannah because I really respect the gameplay.
I mean, I don't know. I guess this is the stupidest reason, you know, but we all three talked about it, and Jeff was like, bless his heart. Literally our first conversation, I asked him something about, he was just like, oh, I'm just like a cishet white man. And I'm like, oh, honey, it's okay. Like we all were once, you know, like, but what should we call it? Basically, at some point we were talking about it, and Jeff was like, well, you know, if it comes down to it, I will like cede my position to you two because you're women. And you know, so I guess like I'm kind of obliged to take him up on that offer and just say Hannah, even though that's probably not like the best for me because, you know, that's 2 votes to Hannah now. But well, Mike has one as well, but that's a real vote. But whatever. Yeah, I'll just say that. But I like Jeff was my, no offense, Hannah, but Jeff was kind of my number one, just because we were there from the start. But that's why I was like, let's stick with the 3 of us because I don't want to have to vote between you two, you know? So yeah.
I kind of agree with Jessica where Jeff did say that, and it seemed really genuine, and I hope it was genuine. So because of that, and also I think Jessica played a great game. I do think I knew. I mean, she did hide an idol from us, her two tightest people, which I thought was like really smart. Even though she didn't really need it, because we were such a strong alliance. I thought that was good. But I thought I knew what she was doing, but there was always that thought in my mind, like she loves chaos. And I was like, she could flip at any moment. And I think that was good gameplay. And so because of that and what Jeff said, I would vote for Jessica. And she also has brought so much like humor to this, and it's been really, really fun. And I know that's like, you shouldn't vote for like to win Survivor because they're hilarious and like makes you happy, but necessarily you can go however you want. But I really enjoyed having her here, and I think that it wouldn't have been as fun without her.
Thank you.
Thanks, Miranda. Alrighty, Tatsu. Tatsu, it's your turn.
So I a week ago, Ethan had messaged the jury a video of a past survivor and told me that he expects this kind of energy. And before I was like, oh, I'm just like a cool, chaotic person, and I have this whole like demeanor where I'm like campy and woo, 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 woo. But no, after this very blindsided reveal that you three were in four, technically, were in an alliance, I feel rather actually betrayed. I am from 3 out of the 5 boroughs of New York City, so I'm not being a bitch. I'm just keeping it real, to be honest. So I was gonna come in with like one-liners and everything, like, oh, that's so sweet. I just lost a leg, like about all of this, and I was gonna be catty and everything. So I guess I just feel so betrayed that, well, one, I was deemed a threat. I'm proud of that, kind of, even though I knew and I would told people that I was playing this game for fun and loved the camaraderie of everything. So that feels betrayed. I felt betrayed from that. I understand that why Hannah voted for me, because I voted for her on multiple occasions, even though I'm a threat, even though, you know, like, you knew that you had the votes to get me out, but whatever. So I guess my only question is, I would like Jessica and Jeffrey to say that they betrayed me to my face.
Oh my God. I mean, you were one of the other people that I did the same thing to. I literally did this 3 or 4 fucking times and got lucky every time. I said, I don't know, I think you were trying to get out Michael. And I was like, Michael's gonna get an outvote. So like, and I think Michael got like 2 votes or something, or 3 votes. Yeah, it was something, I don't know. Michael got some votes and I was like, oh, I could say that I'm gonna vote for Michael. And you know, again, plausible deniability. So that's kind of how I played things most of the time. So yeah, I did betray you. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna miss like the other trans person on the game. Which is like totally fucked. But you know, I mean, that's how us white trans women are. So I cede to Jeff.
Okay. Yeah, there's not much sugarcoating this. I certainly also betrayed you, Tatsu. It much less of a, I think, you know, for sake of honesty here, I think I didn't really get a chance. Obviously, we talked in the group setting a lot, but I didn't get a chance to message you one-to-one nearly as much. I think a lot of it was just, like I mentioned, we had our alliance trying to maintain like control, as it were, and with your vote being chaotic, as you sort of said before. Like I said, I think it was about keeping control. But all of this aside, we knew you were playing for fun. I didn't personally see you as a threat the way others might have. I thought it was really great to have you around. So when it came down to it, I didn't oppose people saying to vote you out, and that is very much a betrayal.
Tatsu, can I say something?
Sure.
I feel like I was the reason they voted you out because it was between you and Michael, and because me and Michael were tight, I didn't want Michael to go, so I told them like it's Tatsu. I thought you were a threat because you put my name down, and I didn't. You like read Michael like the trial before, and I was like, I don't want them to do that to me. So I was like, I was just scared. So I told Jessica that it wasn't going to be Michael. I was going to vote Tatsu, and I think that was like one of my biggest moves too, because I kept Michael farther along, and we got to keep working together. And an uncertainty was voted out of the game.
Okay, I also have an addition though. For whatever it's worth, this was kind of funny. This was a different round, but the round that we were like literally planning on voting you out, the round that you sent the fucking meme about like don't vote the only Black person out. So we were like, oh shit, let's switch our vote. So we literally all switched our vote. I thought you would like that, but yeah.
Party.
Incredible. Thank you very much, Tatsu. All right, Billy, you are next.
Oh, stretching. Hello, Final Three. Congratulations, all three of you, for making it to this point. In my opinion, if you make it this far, you definitely deserve to win to some extent. So I do have a few questions for you tonight. As others have said, I definitely care most about the gameplay, but I think there's different kinds of gameplay. I think social gameplay measure to meet all of you. I think I'm kind of wondering, was there any social game involved, whether it was voluntary or involuntary? And if it was involuntary, do you still think it helped you out? So Jessica, that question is going to be specifically for you, because I see you as a very exuberant, free-spirited, over-the-top, everyone loves her. I don't know. I think that really helped you. So could you speak to that at all?
I have to say, like, I wasn't necessarily doing that. Well, after a while, I was doing that strategically, right? But I don't think I was necessarily like going in with the intention of being likable so that I could win in the jury. I think honestly, early on, I had no idea how this game worked, to be honest. But I had pointers from some of my friends who have played this before. And shout out to Killian and Storm if you're watching. Oh, right. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I do think that that is kind of hopefully what endears people to me, and at least makes them consider voting for me, even if I did betray them, because to get to this point, I had to betray basically everyone here who I talked to in any meaningful capacity. So that's kind of my hope, my redeeming quality. I'm like that meme that is like those like weird like alt-right memes that are like, oh, like this like guy is just like all his entire personality is being gay or whatever. Like we don't like him. We like whatever other person, right? So I'm like that person, right? The like my whole personality this whole time has been that I am trans and queer or whatever, right? But yeah, hopefully I'm funny enough that I win.
Okay, so thank you, Jessica. I'll continue now. I just wanted to give you this space to about. I feel like that hasn't been given the gratitude it was deserved. Moving on, though, I feel like we are hearing a lot about, yeah, when I did this move, I planned it and it was awesome and it worked and it helped me get here and I'm just awesome at the game. We're hearing that all night and I'm sure a lot of it's true, but I want the three of you to try and think about what times things didn't go your way or what time you had to adapt if the plan wasn't your plan, but you still maybe got on it last minute. And thirdly, things that you did do you think there was strategic purpose to it, or do you think you were lying for no reason, possibly? Because I think there is a such thing as, you can get the point across, but also, how much do you have to lie to a person? So, any one of you can go first, but that's to all three of you. Just a few different things to talk about, so you can talk about any of those things I just.
I'll start. So obviously with you, Billy, we had to, like, our first group, we had this alliance and then you were the next to go and we voted for you and you played your idol and we had to readjust after that because someone in our alliance was voted out. And that was a big changing point. And then the next time we had to readjust was we knew Yael was a huge threat. And then she won immunity, which is why she was such a huge threat. And we had to quickly adjust to that. And that's why we voted out Jessie, because the night before or the session before, she said, I would never vote out, So we worked together to vote that out or to figure that out. And I think I played a big role in figuring that out quickly and convincing my fellow alliance to vote how I'd like. And Jeff, if you want to continue.
Yeah, sure. So I think I sort of mentioned it a little bit earlier. My main failing point was right off the start, sort of like a just thrown in head first kind of moment. I came in with Lisa as the only person I knew, and I was like, okay, great. Lisa's going to be my ally. We're going to work together. We're going to make other allies. It's going to be fantastic. And then, of course, Lisa was voted off first from our tribe, and so sort of immediately I felt the need to scramble, and things really weren't going my way at the beginning. And I think, but more importantly, I want to answer your latter question about how much lying is too much lying. I think I would say this game has been a learning experience for me. I think I came into it. I've watched a lot of the actual show Survivor, and I've seen some of the people who go really, really crazy with the line, really, really over the top. If you've watched the show, like your Boston Robs, your Russells, etc. You see these people at times, especially with Boston Rob, they've been successful with how much they're in control of the game. And so I think my first instinct when I came in was I need to know who every single person is voting for. I need to know like what's going where, what's doing what, what's happening at any given time. And so I think I did a lot more lying than I needed to, especially in the beginning. I think especially really talking about your vote, Billy, is one that comes to mind for this, where I don't think I had to lie to you to have things happen the way that I wanted them to, but I did. And I think a lot of that was I want Billy immediately before he's getting voted out to think that I'm on his side. And then whoever else it was that was going to get voted out next. Because in my mind, I was thinking, okay, that's the way I can be the safest, is where I have the most control over what's going on. But I think that can be too much at times. I think that's how you burn bridges, whether it's in the game or otherwise. And I think if I were to play this game again, I would I would tone it back. I think there's such a thing as playing too aggressive of a game, and it didn't bite me in the butt this time. But I don't think it was necessary. So, Popcorn Jessica.
Okay. Well, I mean, as far as lying is concerned, I definitely lied. That has been established. What I would say is the times that I lied were times when the only other option was to be like, yeah, I'm actually teaming up with a bunch of people to vote you out. So I feel like in that case, like that was more justified. There were times where I did lie when it wasn't necessary. But I guess There was another question. When things didn't go well, I mean, I guess at this point, I'm just like spilling all of the drama, I guess. But basically, during the end, um, I love you, Tim. You were in our final four, right? Our original final four. But you decided to break with the Alliance because you thought that I was a threat. That's at least what I heard through the grapevine, right? And so there was a moment where you were planning on voting for me, but then Jeff stepped in, like White Knight saved the day. And I was like, I'll wait till next round to vote for her because Jeff knew that I had an idol. So basically, and that's probably giving Jeff some props, but basically the thing that happened was we wanted to vote out Tim because you had kind of tried to vote me out and then you won immunity. So we were like, well, fuck, I guess we have to switch up our plan. And I think I think that's when we went for Miranda, right? Because you were the only one left at that point. So there was a little bit of that, but the weird thing is like, I think that was kind of a weird like situation where I did not anticipate that Tim would want to vote for me. I get it. You know what I mean? I don't blame him at all. I didn't anticipate that. But it kind of ended up in a place that was very similar to where we had intended because, we had talked about like who do we want to vote out in this next round, and it was Annabelle, Michael, and Miranda. That was that was the plan. At least on my end, right? But again, plans don't always work out. And I was just very glad. The one thing that I think I did well is I was very, very truthful to the people who I thought that I could trust. And that was Hannah and Jeff. I just laid my cards entirely out there. I was like, I will not vote for you. I even told them after a while that I had the immunity idol, which could have backfired because that happened to my friend Storm. She's like, do not tell any one of those fuckers that you have an immunity idol, because people knew that and voted her out before she had the chance to use it. So, as far as I'm concerned, I just felt like the one thing that I did well is be absolutely 100% honest with the two people that I felt were most trustworthy, So it was a good mix of like lying to people who I had more surface relationships with and then being very honest with people who I trusted.
Billy, if I could add one thing about the lying thing, it's just that I'm also a huge fan of the show, and like one of the things I went into it thinking was that like a great strategy is never like having to lie. So I think I was never in the position where I had to lie to anybody because my alliance was tight. I didn't have to talk to other people who we were voting out. Like no one was coming to me asking, are you voting me out, except for you, Billy, the first round. And I lied to you. And that was the last time I honestly think I lied to someone because I was so sure with my alliance. I didn't feel like I needed to talk to people unnecessarily to make them feel secure when I knew they were voting out. And that could be because Jeff and Jessica are more friendly than I am and they just like talking to people more than me. But in my opinion, it was my strategy of never having to put myself in that position to be like deceitful when I didn't need to be.
Thank you, everyone. Jeff actually answered my specific question for him while he was answering that question. So thank you, Jeff. But if you guys don't, I have one more quick question for Hannah. And I would just want you to talk a bit more about the team swap. Not for my sake, but just because I think, like, objectively, that's probably a turning point in your strategic game because you look at Jeff and Jessica. Jeff said his ally Lisa, she was gone pretty early, but they obviously found each other pretty quick, and they were a tight pair. And when we swapped over, it was obvious that you'd either vote with both of them or neither of them. And saying that I almost got voted out on our first team, and the only reason I was still there was idol. Typically, for people that don't watch the show, when there's a swap that happens, the person on the bottom of the team usually switches over, and they'll work with the people coming from the other team to get out the people that just tries to get them out. And that would have been what I was supposed to do, but I didn't think to message people for that entire week. Hannah did. She got right on that, and she infiltrated that pair. And Hannah, I want you to speak a little bit more about infiltrating that alliance, whether you thought that you were able to get yourself solid in and kind of just your entire thought process. Like, I want to know if you thought about the fact that it would be easiest for them to get me to switch over, and yeah, just other things like that. Like, what was everything going on in your mind? Because I think that's what set you up for where you are now.
I definitely agree. So first, like, there was no way I was going to vote with you because I had just tried to vote you out. And so I was like, there's no way this person's going to trust me. Like, even if you voted with me for this one round, like, you watched the show, and I knew you watched the show. So that's another reason I wanted you out. I was like, he might vote with me this time, but like, he doesn't trust me. And like, that is already broken. So I need to get him out now. He knows how to play the game. He already played an idol. He could get another one, and he doesn't trust me. So I picked Jeff and Jessica, and I think they had the numbers too. So I knew that I just needed to be one of their extra numbers and throw your name out there. And if I'm remembering correctly, they didn't have an issue with it. So it was pretty easy just to message them. It's always super awkward to message people. You don't know what to say. So like, that was hard. But yeah, I knew from the get-go I was going to get you out because I thought that you didn't trust me and that you were a threat because you've seen the show and you know how to play idols.
So I just want to clarify one more thing. What about Renee? Were you planning on working with Renee, or was that fake too?
I was. We were like full planning to work with Renee, and I don't know if for people who don't know, she like overslept, and we were like, like, shit. But we thought that it was gonna be fine because we would vote. She'd come back or whatever, and we'd vote you out anyway. And then you were saved again, and so. And more of the reason I had to get you out because that was 2 times you knew I voted for you, and you just wouldn't have trusted me.
Thank you.
Thanks, Billy. Alrighty, Maria, could you please go next?
Hi, everyone. Honestly, I don't have a ton to say, but I feel like I've learned a lot from this experience. And I just want to thank each of you for like teaching me so much about like how this game works and how to play. And I'm very impressed with all of the sneakiness and all of the the strategizing. But yeah, congratulations to each of you, and thank you for this.
Awesome, thank you very much. And the last person voted out in this entire game, our fallen angel in Survivor canon, lingo, Timothy.
Hey y'all. Before I say anything, I just want to say, like, so fun. Glad to have just been able to play with you guys. No hard feelings, no matter what. But now I need to poke some major holes in your collective story. So you claim that you were a unit of 3 marching through the game. However, and like calling the shots and, running the game, right? However, there were, I believe, 2 tie votes since the merge. There was some other, like, things going on. People's votes were going places, advantages were at play. So I think I'm just kind of, actually, hold on. So I just want to say that, and then I'll get back to that in a second. And I just want to ask a few clarifying questions, if I may. So Jeff, at that final 5, this would just be a quick one. I don't need like a long explanation. At that final 5 where it was, the 4 of us and Miranda, had there been no idols or foolery gone on, would you have stuck with me and Miranda and voted out Jessica?
I was always planning on voting out Miranda. There was a time where I was undecided, but by the time it came to the day of the vote, I had been decided.
Cool. And Hannah, so did you, just another quick one, don't need a long answer. Did you correspond with anybody in the sense of the game besides Michael, Jessica, and Jeff? Post-merge.
No.
So you only talked to Jeff, Jessica, and Michael?
I mean, maybe like a brief, like who you're voting, but not anything prolonged, nothing that I can remember.
Cool. Jessica, quick question. The advantage that you won at the snow day fight versus me, was that actually a can I see your vote advantage?
Yeah, it was. And I saw
Okay.
your vote. And
Cool.
when I saw your vote, I was like, okay, Tim is going as planned. Because that was the round. That was actually, it worked out so nicely. So the round that you had been talking to Jeff about voting me out, Jeff was like, oh, you should go next round or whatever, right? And I got to look at your vote and you voted for Michael. So I basically confirmed that you actually did listen to what Jeff was saying. So I voted for Michael. Sorry. But yeah, it was actually, I was being truthful. For whatever it's worth, you were genuinely in the like our last 4 plans. You know.
Oh yeah. I'm not mad at any of you, to be clear. I'm just having fun being on the jury right now. So that's why I'm coming in hot. All right, so now for my real question that I'll give you some, time to elaborate on. So 3 people can't make a move, right? That's not possible. So I'm curious what you did that the other 2 people sitting next to you did not do that put you where you are now. So I want to know, at least it can be one specific move, one specific strategy that you came in with, but I want it to be an intentional thing that you did, not like I aligned myself with the right people and found myself here. I want to know what is an action that you took that got you to the final 3. You go whatever order you like.
I can go first for this. So I think this sort of blends with the I guess the clarifying thing from before, right? Where I was talking about final 5, you, me, Miranda, Hannah, Jessica, and how I said I considered myself essentially the middleman, right? Where from my perspective, at least, I was thinking, okay, if Tim and Miranda are going to make it, they're going to take me. And if Jessica and Hannah are going to make it, they're going to take me. And I think obviously Hannah played her advantage to steal a vote. And then, you didn't get to vote in this particular instance. And so it really kind of, from my perspective, then had to move to Miranda. I mentioned that I was planning on voting Miranda the entire time with this 5. But if we had gotten to the end, or if we had gotten to the vote, and for example, you had played the steal vote advantage and stolen from Hannah instead, crisscross it here, then I think the move that I made was putting myself in that position where no matter who had advantages, no matter who was going to do what, I was going to be in that final 3, regardless. If you had stolen Hannah's vote and then we had been voting Jessica out, then I would have still been there.
Tim, you're all set?
Do you want us all to answer that?
Yeah, I would like an answer from everybody, if possible.
I'll go next. So just 2 things. I'll be quick with both of them. I think the biggest thing I did was message people first. It's super awkward to message people, like I said. So I took that burden off of them, and I think that made them feel comfortable with me from the get-go. And I was able to establish alliances that way that were strong. And because of that, I never really had to make a big move to save myself. I thought I was pretty secure the entire time. That being said, though, I realized I had this advantage to steal a vote, and I wasn't even going to play it. And I was like, I could get voted out this time. Like if Jeff decided to flip and you guys picked me, I could get voted out. I was like 95% sure that wouldn't happen, but if I had left with an advantage in my pocket, I would have been really like super upset. So I played that to secure my spot. So it wasn't necessarily a move that got me there, but it was a move that like made sure like no matter what I would get there, if that makes sense.
Can I add a little bit more detail actually to my narrative? Like I said, I was listening in on both sides of this. And when it got to that final 5 vote, like maybe 10 minutes before the vote, Jessica shared that she had a hidden immunity idol. So at that point, my plan was, okay, well, I'll vote with Tim and Miranda. We'll have 3 votes for Jessica, 2 votes for Miranda. Hannah and Jessica will have voted for Miranda. And Miranda will go home, which is, I guess, what I had planned on. But then to you, who's still in, Tim, then it appears as if I'm, full disclosure, on the same page with you there. And obviously this got wrecked by Hannah's steal a vote advantage, this particular piece of the plan. And then on the other side, I was saying to Jessica and Hannah, I'm going to vote for Jessica, but don't worry, Jessica, I know you have an idol, you're safe. Like, this is all part of the convincing plan. And so though that didn't end up happening, I would have, considered that it was a move that was planned and only got thrown off by the steal a vote.
Yeah, I didn't want him to do that. I didn't want him to be in your good graces, which is another reason I played the steal a vote. I thought it was like, I'm sorry, Jeff, like I just knew that like if for whatever reason, if that got you guys tighter, I didn't want that to be a thing. I also didn't want Jessica to somehow go home by mistake. So I foiled that plan from the inside out.
Mm-hmm. Well, my first answer is that I mean, no offense, Hannah, but I talked to, obviously I talked to Hannah and Jeff. I also talked to Tim. I created a group chat before the final 7 of us 4. And I was like, if we just literally vote along this group, like we would go to the final 4. We would make it to the last round, right? So I was kind of like, trying to basically solidify that alliance. And obviously I was talking, no offense, Tim, but I was talking to Hannah and Jeff about, well, if it comes down to it, we could fuck over Tim in the challenge and just secure our 3 votes. But I guess the other thing, so it was kind of like once it got to the final 7, even though things didn't go quite as I planned, I felt fairly confident because I had a see or vote advantage that I could play. I was positive that we were going to vote one of the 3 people outside of those 4 out in the first round. So then I was like, I could see the vote in the next round, and then I could use my immunity idol in the last round and make sure that I go forward. But I guess the other thing that I did that was slightly different, not that it was like, particularly a mastermind move, but like, I was talking for the first 2 rounds very kind of intermittently with Annabelle. I talked with Tatsu a little bit. I had very brief conversation with Billy. Obviously was talking with Tim and Jeff. And, I talked with Michael after the we bonded over our shared Tinder experiences as gay men. So, again, I think I kind of leveraged those very short-lived alliances, or like was close enough to these people where they felt like they could tell me who they were voting for, right? And so I had some level of insight into, say, Tatsu voting for Hannah, or themselves, or Michael saying that Tim was going to vote for me, right? Or whatever. Annabelle was actually very like, I'm not going to tell anyone my voting strategy, at least for the first 2 times. So then I was like, I don't know if I can trust her as my number 1 ally, right? But yeah, anyway, that's it.
Great, thank you all. Good luck. That's all I have to say.
Thank you so much, Tim.
And don't fuck it up.
And don't fuck it up.
Can we abstain from voting?
Well, let me explain. Now, right before we vote, I would like the three of you to literally one sentence as a closing sentence. Encapsulate your game within one sentence. We'll start with Jessica because your mic is on.
Okay, my game was make an alliance that I can trust and lean very heavily into my marginalized identities as a humor prop.
Fantastic. Hannah?
My game was constantly strategizing, talking to people, and trusting my alliance.
And Jeff?
I just have a question for y'all. Who's your favorite rat?
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go into the voting booth. I'll bring the jury members one by one into the voting booth, and you'll cast your vote for a winner, and then we'll crown our winner.
Oh, fucking hell. Jesus, fucking Jesus. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and vote for Jessica because I would like to feel good about the fact that she can have some support for her procedure. So, love you, Jessica. Good luck and be well. And congrats to everybody.
I'm voting for Hannah. I mean, Hannah did it from get-go. Obviously, she was my alliance, so I'm voting with the alliance that may or may not have betrayed me. But the fact that even if she did betray me, that means that she's getting it even more so because of that. I don't know how I can make it more clear. It has to be Hannah. Obviously, we have three people who have played the game, I would say excellently, but one person played the game in the strongest way, most throughout the entire way, is what I would say. She played it throughout the entire way, and it's Hannah.
This is a tough decision. All three of them have played pretty good. Like there's no GOAT in this final. Yeah, I gotta be honest. But I think this person to the T knew exactly what they needed to do from time to time, and they own it the best. And for that reason, I'm going vote.
I'm voting for. Oh, this is actually hard. I kept on saying that I'm like ready to vote. At first, I was just definitely going for Jessica. Then I found out that there was so much betrayal, and then I was like, oh, I'll still go for Jessica. And then, me asking that thing was a test to see if I could still vote for Jessica or not. Because if Jessica gave me like some half-assed excuse, I was gonna vote for Hannah if neither of them were able to say they betrayed me. But I just vote.
I'm voting for this person because they had very strong answers to all the questions. They really pushed for how they took the initiative in a lot of cases to, really play their best Survivor game. And I love the honesty strat, so I will be voting for Hannah.
I'm voting for Jessica because I feel like she brought a lot of joy to the game, and I thought that was just really wonderful.
I'm voting for Annabelle. Can I do that?
No!
Well, Ethan, I don't know. I almost rolled a die. I am very conflicted. I'll go with.
Oh, this is tough. I think I'm gonna vote.
So my vote changed completely from when I was voted out until final tribal council ending. Hannah admitted to only playing the game with 3 other people, which I think is a major flaw no matter which way you look at it, so I will not be voting for her. Jessica was who I was going to vote for coming into this, but she did not own her game at the end. I wanted her to say that all the great moves that she made and all the strategic decisions she did were fully intentional and thought out, but even if they were, she didn't say that. And Jeff, I thought I had him in my pocket the entire time, but turns out I was in his. So I gotta respect the game. I am voting for Jeff to win.
Well, final three. The votes are in.
Wait.
It's been a very long, hard-fought season. I can tell you for certainty, just about every single person entered the voting booth going, wow, this is tough. I have no idea who I'm going to vote for. So congratulations to you all. It really shows how strong of games you played. For the final time, I will read the votes. Remember, this time you want to see your name on this card. These are votes for a winner. Whoever gets the most votes here will become our sole survivor, the winner of Season 5, and the recipient of $150. How am I looking? Am I still on screen?
Yeah.
Driving blind here, right at the finale. Here we go. First vote, Jeff. Second vote, Hannah. Third vote, Jessica.
He's doing the thing.
Fourth vote, Jessica. Fifth vote, Hannah. That's 2 votes Hannah, 2 votes Jessica, 1 vote Jeff. Sixth vote, Hannah. 3 votes Hannah. Seventh vote, Jessica. 3 votes Hannah, 3 votes Jessica. Eighth vote, Hannah. The winner of Survivor Snow Day, Hannah. Hannah, congratulations. Congratulations.
Yay.
Thank
you.
Yeah.
I'll be Venmoing you in momentarily. Is there anything you'd like to say as the winner?
Thank you. I couldn't do it without Jessica or Jeff or Michael. So I love you all. And thank you for people who voted for me. I had a lot of fun. Hopefully there's an all-star season.
Absolutely, there will be. It's either going to be next season or the season after.
I can't do next season.
Yeah, that's what I've been told by many people, so that's why I might wait for the season after. Anyway, thank you all so much for not only your patience tonight, but for participating in this whole project over the weeks. This has been really great. I've really loved writing the game for you all. My turn to be a little selfish. I want to plug my podcast. God damn it. It's called It's Not That Scary. I run it with Hannah's sister, Margot, and her boyfriend and my best friend, Jaden. We are watching every horror movie ever made, just about going through chronologically and talking about them. It's a lot of fun, and you should check it out. We're on Spotify. It's Not That Scary. Yeah, that's it. Anybody else have anything they want to say? I love you all.
Can I plug something for your podcast?
Please.
If you want them to, they do they're on in the 20s, or I think they're in the 30s now. And the movies are pretty boring. So if you want them to review a movie that you really like a horror movie, you can message them. They'll give you a shout out, so you can hear your name on Spotify, and they'll talk about the movie or whatever you want them to talk about. So that's cool, and it's really funny. I could be biased because I love my sister, but it's awesome.
She said most of the movies are boring.
No, I mean, just about every single one has been completely torturous to watch. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun though. So check it out. Alrighty. Well, thank you all. Stay tuned for an announcement for the next season coming up. Oh, and if you have any feedback, positive or negative, I don't care. I would love to hear it. Please reach out if you have any feedback whatsoever about anything about this game. And that's it. Congratulations, Hannah, and thank you all.
Also, I would love to do another Drinks on Zoom or something in the future.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A night or something.
Yeah.
A reunion.
Yeah.
Reunion.
Our 1 week reunion.
I actually wanted to have a reunion moment. Jessica, let's solve this right now. Did I misread what you sent me when you said that you thought Jeff was going to go home?
Wait, I thought you were just doing that for
I
the
swear to God you said Jeff. I swear to God you said Jeff. But you said Miranda?
No, I literally, I thought I said Miranda. Maybe I typed the wrong shit, but
I double checked. That's okay. We'll solve this later, but it's okay.
No, I didn't.
Sorry about that.
I wrote Miranda. It says it literally.
Bye, everybody. Bye. All right. Have a great night, everybody.